Okay, the last few problems here. We have a yield sign. Yield sign is an equilateral triangle. So, yield sign is an upside down triangle. And if you did not know it, it is specifically an equilateral triangle. So that means all these sides are the same. It says that the side length of an equilateral triangle is 20 inches. Find the exact height of the sign. So we draw the height in here by going from the top down to the bottom. So this is the height. That's what we want to try and find. Okay, so how do we find that? Well, we use angles because we only have one side here. Just an FYI, you created a 90-degree angle right there with that height. So the angles of an equilateral triangle are going to be 60 each. Hopefully you knew that because 360 degrees in a triangle. If it's equilateral, that means it's equal angular, so all the angles have to be the same. And if you divide 360 by 3 equal angles, you get 60 degrees for each of these angles. So if this is 60, this is 60, you know these are split in half, so they're 30 each. So we just created a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So we need to identify short legs and long legs. So 30s are at the bottom, so the short leg is at the top. These are the short legs. And then H is the long leg of both of the right triangles. So we need to get to the long leg from 20, which is the hypotenuse. Remember, we cannot go directly from hypotenuse to long leg. So we must go all the way around the triangle by going to the short leg first and then to the long leg. So in order to go from hypotenuse to short leg, we divide by 2. So short leg, right off the bat, you know, is 10. So then we go from short leg to long leg, which is the height, and long leg, that root is times radical 3. So long leg is going to be your short leg, 10 times radical 3. And there's actually not any work to do on these. That's it. Okay, so your height of your yield sign, well, I guess we have to write a sentence, don't we? Find the exact height of the yield sign. So, height of yield sign is 10 radical 3 inches. Make sure you do inches because the original units were inches. Okay. Alright, you guys try the moose crossing sign, which is also an equilateral triangle. And this time it gives you the height. So see if you can go opposite. Alright, I've got my picture drawn here. Hopefully this is the picture that you guys have. And hopefully you attempted to get to the long leg and tried to get to the perimeter. So 15 is the long. Whoops, that's the hypotenuse, isn't it? Look at me messing up my picture already. So this is the hypotenuse. Alright, so we need to go from long leg to the short leg. And we divide by radical 3 to get there. So over here, I'm going to do short leg equals 15 divided by radical 3. We have to rationalize. So that would be 15 radical 3 divided by 3. And reduce would be 5 radical 3. Then we have to get to the hypotenuse, one of the full sides. So then we would multiply by 2 to get from short leg to hypotenuse. So hypotenuse equals 2 times the short leg, 5 radical 3. So the hypotenuse equals 10 radical 3. Now, that's not what the question asked. The question asked us, what's the perimeter? Well, the perimeter is all the sides added up. So that's the hypotenuse is one of the full sides of this triangle. So if we want to know the perimeter, we would take 3 times the one full side, which is hypotenuse. So perimeter would equal 30 radical 3, and this one's in centimeters. and it wants the exact perimeter. So exact means we leave the radical in simplest radical form. Do not give me a decimal if it says the word exact. Do not give me a decimal. Decimals are rounded answers, not exact answers. So leave the radical in your final answer. Perimeter is 30 radical 3 centimeters. Okay, last problem here, double triangle. So we have, whoops, I think I labeled this wrong maybe. Let me look, hold on really quick. Yes, I did. So this 60 inside of here is supposed to be a 45. Alright, so fix that please. So we have a 45-degree triangle inside of a 30-60. So this is also 45 degrees over here. And so we need to compare starting with the big triangle. Always start with the big triangle. Okay, so the big triangle is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. And the 6 right here is the long leg because it's across from 60 degrees. The y is the short leg, and the x is the hypotenuse. So we need to go from long leg to short leg. Going from long leg to short leg, we divide by radical 3. So short leg equals, actually I don't have to write short leg, what's the letter? Y. So y equals 6 divided by radical 3. Must rationalize. So y equals 6 radical 3 divided by 3. So y equals 2 radical 3. Alright, so we have that information. Now we can go to the hypotenuse. We go to the hypotenuse by multiplying by 2. Hypotenuse is the letter x. So x equals the short leg, 2 radical 3, times 2. So x equals 4 radical 3. Alright, so I did that. Now I need to look at the 45 triangle inside here. So we know that these are the two legs. Now pictures lie. Okay, it obviously does not look like 45, 45, but it is. So this leg is 2 radical 3. And we need to get to the hypotenuse, which is z. So we need to go from leg to hypotenuse. Going from leg to hypotenuse on a 45, 45 is multiplying by radical 2. So we need to take 2 radical 3 times radical 2. So z equals 2 radical 3 times radical 2. So z equals 2 radical 6. Cannot break 6 down, so we are done. Once again, you need to always start with the larger triangle and then get the outside sides. Oh, bless me. And then move to your inside triangle. Alright, that's the end of notes.